found a big old rock with something underneath it, and decided to go get the rest of the party. And I stood there valiantly alone, and Thardhar protected me with the spirit guardians that he's provided me, and killed all these velociraptors that tried to attack me. And we got the rest of the party there, went underneath the boulder, found ourselves a place of rest and some books and information about the Emerald Enclave. Then we traveled to the of
Heart of
how do you say it?
Uptow.
Uptow.
Uptow, yes.
Made our way into it and discovered that there's a lich there. A beautiful elven maiden who, as we were discussing things, Sorey did not like her attitude and decided that, if she threatened us, he was going to threaten her. Found out that then that great, lovely elven maiden was actually a lich, and decided to put Sorey in her place, or his place, and he countered 2 of her very, very high level spells.
Yeah.
And then we decided, okay, 2's enough. Let's attack! And unfortunately, or fortunately, we killed her, but as she was dying, she took out her great and mighty Paladin with just a wrap around her hand on his leg.
Yep. And now you guys are still standing in the heart of Uptow. Sorry, I'll turn this music down a little bit. But well done. We'll go ahead and stack an inspiration there. And now you guys are still currently standing in the heart of Uptow with Sigismund just rising from the dead. His golden eyes now a deep hue of purple, and for a moment, the voice of Galadia, his angelic guide, spoke out from him, saying that to bring Sigismund back from death's door, she had to dive into the soulmonger and retrieve his soul from the machine and drag him back from being consumed by whatever that the soulmonger is feeding. And now it is fairly apparent just from his new posture and his new appearance that something has changed about Sigismund.
I wish I had an angelic person that would save me from the dead. Way to go. Welcome back.
The one probably most noticeable thing that you would pick up pretty quickly, Garn, is when Sigismund died, when he fell to the floor and Defender kind of clattered to the ground beside him on his hand. When he came back after he stood and Gladia spoke through Sigismund, it seems like Defender has changed after after Sigismund stood back up and Gladia spoke through him, and then his eyes kind of faded back to just the when the light kind of left his eyes, you could see that the the spirit of the angel kind of sank down through his body into his blade, and after the his sword kind of also glowed purple for a minute as well, and it seems like Galadia has remained, and she now inhabits Defender, and it's changed, and it has grown about 2 feet and become a great sword. So his weapon has changed as well.
So you're not going to be using that shield anymore, are you?
That really depends.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die. I don't know what that lich did to you, but You know, she barely touched you, and you just like passed out like a chump.
I did die.
Oh, so you actually died.
I did.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
You have to tell me all about this death experience. Most interesting.
Don't give him any ideas.
You get the fuck out of my way, wizard.
Maybe I should have let her kill me instead. Huh.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Um, and Sigismund, if you do want to know anything about what you saw when you died, you could always ask, but that's up to you.
Yes. I mean, if we get like a little break here, I do have questions.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we know that we're up here for at least a day because all of our abilities need to recharge.
Yeah, the Heart of Uptao
Oh.
is the Heart of Uptao is basically yours for the time being. You know, you're welcome to a long rest up here, if you need. Um,
Yeah, I need to swap out my shit.
when you died, Sigismund, momentarily there was nothing but utter darkness, and after a time, what you saw was, as your soul was being vacuumed into the soulmonger, it floated over a sprawling, multi-tiered city. Um, it was sucked down into an elaborate um, an elaborate labyrinth of sorts, um, and for a split second before your soul was consumed, by the device that's feeding this entity, um, what you saw was this writhing gray mass of flesh. And I think that you probably felt it more than visually saw anything. But what you felt before you were drawn into the soulmonger was, um, uh, just um, pure terror, pure fear, pure agony, in it. And once your soul was drawn inside, you were probably consumed by a feeling of just utter loss and hopelessness. And um, you could see, once you were inside the soulmonger, the souls of those that have been drawn in before you being funneled in, um, to this being, basically, and feeding its life. And you felt that, um, soon a new god would be born, but not a benevolent god, a god of death and destruction. And just before, I think just before you were about to be funneled into this being, Galadia put her hand, upon essentially the shoulder of your soul and gripped it tightly and drew you out from the soulmonger just before you were about to be consumed. But you got the impression that a soul could exist inside the soulmonger for moments or months before it was consumed. It was kind of random, but a steady flow of those that were dead or dying were being funneled into this creature that soon will be born as um, essentially just a new god. Um, but it was probably the most unpleasant thing that you will ever or have ever experienced.
All right. Um, do I speak to do I feel like I could just straight up speak to Galadia now?
Yeah, I think so. You feel the presence now of Galadia kind of pulsating near you. Uh, uh, from time to time, throughout your life, you've always known that she's been there, and you've always attempted to reach out to her, and sometimes you've gotten a response, in small ways. The signs have always been sort of difficult to read. Things like the rotating compass in your hand, and you know, she's always been there looking over your shoulder, but now you can feel her, just pulse, the presence of Gladia just pulsating out of your sword there now, beside you on the ground, and she's probably much easier to reach. What you feel from the blade, where before, it was more, whenever she would contact you, it was more a feeling of clarity and understanding. Now it is more, um, the feeling you get coming from your blade is one of anger and vengeance, and it's not quite hatred, but I would say determination, uh, just borderlining um, on determination to the point of almost to the point of hatred, where,
Right.
angels are typically, and Gladia is not excluded from this, more of a neutral, um, a good or a neutral presence, and now something has changed about Gladia, and you would get the impression from what you've experienced as well, that she's experienced, is that being inside of the Soulmonger has altered her being, or her essence.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll take a minute, just sit down and catch my breath for a second. Let the other people find stuff in the room.
Sure. And I think I missed. Um, did I give you 4 or 5 spells last week, Sorey?
I believe it was 4.
So I think that I missed Cloud Kill,
No, I got Cloud Kill,
Dimension
Invisibility, Dimension
Dimension
Door, and
Door,
Acid Arrow.
Acid Arrow, Invisibility. Shoot.
You'd given me a scroll of Counterspell, but I already have that.
Um. All right. Let me double check that real quick, because I re-listened to the video last week, and I knew there was, or I heard, or there was 5. So
I go up to Sigmund and see if I offer the hallucination shard to him. See if he wants to use it.
Normally, I would jump at the chance, but I think I need to stick with reality for just a moment at least.
Sounds good. It's here if you want or need to use it.
Thank you.
Cloud Kill, Dimension Door, Counterspell, Acid Arrow, Invisibility. That's 5, right?
Right.
Uh,
I already have Counterspell, though.
oh, gotcha. And then the scroll was the scroll was a Arcane Gate.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah. So you guys take a long rest up here in the heart of Uptau, as it slowly
Yes.
is rotating, 200 feet above Chult. 1 rotation per hour.
I'm getting
You can
heart sickness.
yeah. Actually, I think, now getting closer. Let's see. this is a lot closer to this end of the island than Firefinger was. So let's see. I think Garn, if you spend some time up on
Well,
the heart, watching it rotate, and
yeah, that's what I was going
with
to
your
ask.
map, you can probably get some new topography off of that.
Plus, looking for any of the Arakaka that we might be able to, you know, try to come down here if they're in the area.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility for sure. Um, I have a hangover, so just work with me.
Surprise!
um,
Up there, I become one with nature and gain all my level 1 ranger abilities. Looking out over Cholt.
nice. Is anybody else multi-classing at level 6?
Not here.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not here.
You know, it's beneficial, I think, mostly for melee classes who want to expand their repertoire of abilities more than spellcasting classes.
I agree.
Yeah, if I'm going to keep up with healing, I've got to keep going up.
But as you're up on top of the heart, checking out the scenery, you know, you can see quite far from all around. You know, from the top of from the plateau of the heart of Uptow, and um, I think a lot of the Garn, especially you. Oops, that's the wrong layer.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
As part of the natural favorite enemy one,
Uh-huh.
I get to pick a language that the undead might speak.
God damn it, I fucked this map all up. Yeah. Most of the most undead speak the language that they spoke in, or at least understand the language they spoke in life. So that one's not. There's not like a broad language that all undead speak, really.
So yeah, I was thinking it would be something that is more specific to our campaign or to the island, right?
Uh-huh. Well,
So
you could choose to speak. You could choose, you know, Chultean if you wanted. Then you know all the Chulteans speak a native language. That for most of the campaign, I've been kind of assuming that, you know, Azaka's been translating for you guys for a lot of the interactions that you've had.
word. Is there would it be possible to learn maybe like Abyssal from the Lich then maybe?
Yeah, you know, you can, if it's a feature you get from you know, one thing or another, you can pick whatever you want. Abyssal would be the demonic language, which is something also, you know, you could have been picking up over time.
Word.
It would be the closest. Abyssal would be the closest thing to like the language of the undead, because they're typically associated with, you know, demonic entities in one fashion or another.
I think I'll take that then.
But you do Garn see in the east, You can make out an old ruin in this direction up here from the heart. You can make out an old ruin. It looks like there are kind of crumbling stone statues, and you can see past the what is this river called? I can't remember. Well, you can see past this. Oh, yeah, the river Olong. You can see this old ruin, and it looks like there's kind of a these risen platforms over this sprawling garden that lies underneath. You can see tucked, nestled away in a cliffside in almost directly east from the heart of Ubtao, these kind of very a lot of the architecture in Port Nine Zaru is more modern. These buildings that you see tucked away and nestled in this cliffside in this direction are they have a similar architectural style, but they look much older. And you occasionally can see humanoids taking off from the cliff sides and flying in different directions around the island. They are much smaller than the terror folk that you typically see patrolling around the skies, and you would assume that those are probably Aarakocra, but none of them come near the heart as you guys are resting up here through the night.
Okay.
I think you can probably make out over in this direction the wreck of the Star Goddess, which you had seen in the book that you guys found in that member of the Emerald Enclave's shelter you discovered. You can see the remnants of the airship and its big bright blue sails hanging in the trees of the jungle in that direction. You can see you're kind of above the canopy up here, so it's kind of hard to tell down in the jungles, but I think probably in like the late evening or early morning hours, when there's a break in the rain, you can see the heavy movements of hundreds of undead kind of roaming in packs through the jungles. You can see most of the Eldani Basin. You can see big reptilian beasts coming and going from it to get water, and occasionally fights will break out between the more carnivorous and omnivorous types of dinosaur creatures that inhabit the island. And you can also see a large lake in the southeasternly direction as well, much bigger body of water than the salty shallow Aldani Basin floor. Often,
Ryan,
yeah.
can you mark where the wreck of the Star Goddess was?
Yes, I can. Let's see.
Or at least the general direction?
You know what's sweet about working graveyard? Tomorrow I only work 7 hours. Because they roll clocks ahead.
Oh, I see it. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Good for you guys.
But I still get paid for 8.
You can see the tall what Valindra had mentioned, the peaks of flame directly south of you, and you can see the kind of steam rising from the volcanic peaks of flame, and and the Sky Lizard Mountains as well in this direction, and you can see some breaks in the jungle canopies over here and down in this direction as well.
It's pretty.
Eventually, when the campaign's over, I'll just open up all the generally when you guys visit an area, I will I make it available to just kind of read and look through. So eventually, when the campaign is over, I'll just open up all the areas, and if you guys want to look through some of the stuff you missed, you're more than welcome to. But
No problem. Um, the Nangalore is not where we need to be heading, right? That's not the ruins that we're supposed to be that we heard about.
Valindra said that the place that you seek, where she believed that the soulmonger is residing, is in Omu,
Gotcha.
which was basically the old Port Nine Zaru, the largest city. She said that it was tucked between the Valley of Lost Honor and the Peaks of Flame. Yeah.
But the people of Kirsabal have a ritual that might be able to get us there quickly.
She
Is what
said, yeah, she said that Omu was difficult to access. There were only a couple ways in. Um, one was if you had access to flight, or there was a path up through the jungles, and then a river that also supposedly leads into Omu as well. But um, the most difficult part about reaching it is just pushing through all the undead in the jungles.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what's the plan?
If we really want to go through the jungle and probably go to the wreck and then head south to go to where we think Omu is, or do we want to go to Kirsabal and see if the Arakaka could help us get there?
Maybe we can salvage something from the wreck.
But that's a long trek. Either, no matter which way we go, we're going through undead and we're going through jungle. No matter what we go through,
Maybe the Arakaka could take us to the wreck.
that too. But I think if we've got a way to fly that it's only a one shot, we need to go to the city before we go to the wreck, because the city is where the stuff that we need to find is.
Which city?
Omu. That was where the lich said that the soul thing is at.
So either direction we were going to go, the Arakakra or the wreck was going to be before the city, but now you're saying we need to go to the city first?
No, what I'm saying is, if the Kirsabal, if we can't do something that, if their magic only allows one trip, we probably need to go to the city versus going to the wreck. If we want to go to the wreck, it's about the same trip to go to Kirsabal than it is to the wreck.
Isn't Omu also in the same direction as the wreck?
It's toward the south.
Yeah, but the Wreck of the Star Goddess and Kirsabal are both about an 11-day journey through through the jungles on foot from where you are.
So
Is
it's
that also does my natural explorer ignoring difficult terrain help with that or no?
No, not really. Oh, well, I guess yeah, I guess it would probably have that time. So it'd be probably about a 5 or 6 day journey.
nice.
That helps.
You could basically travel as fast as you can on the rivers on canoe, 2 hexes per day now.
Well, that helps. So, our plan of going to the wreck is to see if we could salvage from there. Is that what the idea was?
It was just one of the locations in the journal that you found.
No, I was asking the group.
Yeah.
It was one of my ideas. I mean, if it's a ship that could fly, maybe we can salvage whatever magic it is that allowed them to achieve that.
And then, Garn, your concern is that we get to carry Sabal and they can only do one trip for us?
Yeah, that would be my concern is if they are able to allow us to fly, whatever that ritual is, it's a one shot. I mean, I don't mind going through the jungles and going to the wreck and then going down to find Omu. I don't have a problem with that if that's the way we want to go.
I think Valindra had mentioned that the Arakakra can perform a ritual that is called the Dance of the Seven Winds to bestow magical flying ability upon people, but she didn't say how long that the effects of the ritual might last.
Possibly, could we hire one of them to come with us? They could just cast the ritual on us again at another time.
It's possible. It's hard to say.
I mean, I'm just spitballing right now.
Azaka says that she's never actually seen the ritual performed, or anyone that or she's never even met anyone that has had the ritual performed on them. So she's never met a flying human.
Like, she climbed up here? She's in the heart with us?
No, I guess you wouldn't be up here, huh? No, she's still on the floor, trembling as she watches it slowly rotate as you guys are 200 feet above. But if she was here, that's what she would say.
So we're using like the 2 cans on the ends of the rope.
Maybe you can message her.
Back and
Maybe you
forth
can message her with your wand.
Yeah, but that costs charges, man. It's
okay.
unnecessary.
Azaka's not worth it.
She should just climb up here, man. Gotta get over to your heights. What if we help her come up here?
It would probably take a DC 25 persuasion check to get Azaka up in the heart.
Alright, I mean, I'm not very good at it, but I'll give it a go, sure. Nope. Well, we'll see in a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So, which way do we want to go, guys?
I will take a moment to just walk away and ask a question of Galadia then. You seem to know a lot about where to go and why and how. I would like you to elaborate and tell me which way we should be going. I'll carve a path to it. Just tell me where to go.
Is he talking to his sword?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's talking on the wall.
Some of you probably do hear. Sigismund, do you talk out loud, or do you talk like try and just like speak like you have in the past to Gladia, kind of?
I would say it would probably be more mumbly, but it wouldn't be out of the possibility for them to hear it, I think.
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, I think the rest of you probably hear Sigismund and see Sigismund mumbling something to his sword. Yeah, but she doesn't. She does respond, but it's not something that the rest of you hear. It's just in your own head, Sigismund. But she does say, um, uh, what that wretched lich said was true. I feel the soulmonger beating. The heart of darkness is south in the place called Omu. Together we will hack through the lifeless beasts that lie in the jungles below us, and we will end this terrible curse together, Sigismund.
We will. Do we need flight to get there?
She says, all I can feel is the sorrow of the souls that are lying in wait to feed the being that will soon release its wrath upon this world. I don't know directly of what lies before us in Omu, only the feeling of despair that pulses within the jungles below us.
Okay. And as far as the compass you decided to give me, it pointed to this place. Why?
Valindran was the next step in your journey. She knew where to go. And as you reach down and put your hand on the hilt of the sword, it immediately shifts and turns down towards Omu now in the next place that you need to be.
All right. I'll do my very best to get us there as fast as possible. I'll walk back to the others discussing this thing and basically just pretend like I haven't done anything at all.
She says, I've always had my eye on you, Sigismund, but we're truly in this together now. When this is done, I will release you from my service. But until then, we are in this together. I will do my best to not let you fall again.
And I will do my best to get us there before that becomes anything that we'll have to think about.
And I don't have all the statistics of your new weapon quite yet, but it is still a +3, and if it comes to a time when you have to use it, I'll probably just make some shit up on the fly. But
It is now the Sword of Kars.
yeah, but Gladia's there to speak to if you need to, and
Okay, that's a little more handy than having to get super fucked up every time and then just hope. But yeah, so we need to decide where we need to go. Kirsabal or towards Omu. Whatever we do, we have to do it quickly.
Well, I think walking through the jungle either direction is a hazard, but if we walk to Kirsabal or that direction, we'll have some sort of flight. And we were already told that Nangalore has some sort of herbs or plants that we could craft a remedy for some of these sicknesses.
You don't have to worry about the danger. I'll get us there. Just pick a direction.
All right, tough guy. I wasn't talking to you. What about the other guys?
Well, we do have one problem with Kirsabal. The cat
Which
won't
is
come with us.
She won't come with us.
It's in from what I saw, it's in like on the side of a mountain or side of a, a plateau.
Yeah, it looks like it rests in the side of a cliff face, and the cliff face is even higher than the heart of Uptal. It looks like it's probably 500 feet or so in the air.
I can cast fly on her. It's okay.
That means she'll go.
Plus, I mean, she swore an oath to us, man. She climbed up that thing to get her mask back. She needs to carry her weight now that we did the thing for her, right?
Okay, which way do we want to go?
Well, one way we have a gamble, and we have a potential treatment for some of this illness, and a surefire way to into Omo, and they both take equal amount of time.
But you're saying go to Nangalore?
I mean,
Or
it's kind of
just-
it's kind of in the route. It's kind of in the same direction as Kirsabal. That's my point. Once you cross that river, it's like there's no undead, according to your map.
Plus, it's kind of like the shortest line to get out of the undead area, according to this map. If that makes sense.
It does.
Bueller? Anyone?
I heard you.
Anyone else?
I'm sorry, what?
Get out of here. I think we were talking about maybe just heading east with the pit stop at Nangalore. Is that what we were thinking?
That's my suggestion.
Okay.
I guess. Sounds not as interesting as looking at the wreckage of the Star Goddess, but whatever you guys want.
Well, the Star Goddess is kind of en route to our final destination, right?
But if we've got to wait, if depending on how the flight is, again, if we only have one shot, we're not going to go to the Star Gods. We're going to go to the Omu.
True, but if it's like a long duration for the spell or something like that, we can do both.
Correct.
Or if we can talk one of them into coming with that can do the ritual.
I suppose it would be interesting to see the ritual up close in person.
You might be able to learn something.
I know everything. What are you
Like-
implying?
Like, don't piss off a fucking lich.
I wasn't the one who died. Jeez.
So our goal is Nangalore and then Kirsabal.
That's the next course of action, I guess. Yes.
Okay, we'll head out in the morning.
So long rest and then go.
Yep.
Okay. If we're gonna do a long rest, I guess I could message down to Asaka now what we're doing, so she's not just hanging out down there in the dark.
Sure.
Couldn't we send Faye?
Yeah, Faye can always fly down.
Oh, yeah.
Faye
Okay.
can also bring her up to us if she needs more protection.
But yeah. Izaka has no interest in coming up to the heart. But you guys spend the rest of your time up in the heart of Uptal, regaining your strength. Sigismund probably occasionally mumbling to his blade under his breath, and when you feel rested enough, you descend. How do you guys all get back down? I mean, Faye can probably just go fly you down one by one.
That would save spells and um, everything. So yeah, let's do that.
Oh. But now you do have a trek um, through the jungles. You head for as you head towards Kirsabal and Nangalore. You want to head towards Nangalore first?
Yep, because we want as quickly out of this undead area as possible.
Sure. But you guys just try and make a straight shot instead of skirting around or anything like that.
Straight shot.
What do you mean by skirting around?
Well, I think Garn would get a perception of some of the less dangerous ways to travel through the jungles, but you know, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I guess since you're traveling at twice the pace now, there we go. That's all I needed. So after a day, um, uh, probably towards the end of your first day of travel, you know, you guys are with Wuce at the lead, scouting ahead. You know, you make your way into um, you make your way through the kind of flatlands of the Aldani Basin, and just as you enter the tree lines of the jungles again, you can hear some groaning, groaning and crashing from up ahead of you, um, and even with your keen perception, you know, Garn and Woos scouting ahead and trying to carve a path that's not quite so treacherous. It's almost impossible to not stumble upon the undead through these parts of the jungle, and towards the end of your first day of traveling, crashing through the trees just as you meet the canopies of the jungle again, you see before you let me get you over to the map.
Is this where we fight the 100-foot troll?
Yeah, this is our troll encounter here.
Okay.
You see a large winged creature with long curled horns. He has a big gnarled axe hanging down from one side, and these large wings that are kind of beating and flapping out behind him. He looks like he's moving through the jungles, and he's risen a small army that it seems like he's commanding, and they're kind of traipsing in your direction. The creatures that he's reanimated are don't seem to take notice of you, but Garn, there's this moment as you reach the jungle line where this demon's red eyes meet with yours, and he kind of gives this slight grin. The edge of his lip kind of curls up as he sees you, and he like just kind of slyly gives you a wink, and the creatures that are under his command all kind of turn with purpose towards the rest of you. And
Oh shit!
when I drop your tokens here, you can all roll initiative.
Are all these undead?
Many of them look to be undead.
I run away.
I have a +2 to damage rolls against undead.
What does that mean?
When he hits,
When I hit with the weapon, I get +2 to damage.
Sorry,
No, it was a joke.
I cleared the.
It was about metagaming.
I cleared the turn order, but I'll put you guys back on there.
Okay, gotcha. That was more of just a heads up to Ryan, in case he wants to be. I mean, I guess I'd have to be able to.
Is undead your favorite enemy now?
Yeah.
Okay, then you know 5 of them are undead.
Basically all except for the commander.
What type of undead?
They look orcish?
3 of them look to be like ogres. 2 of them look to be like they're adventurers, risen adventurers.
Are they zombies?
2 ogre zombies, yeah. Large undead, neutral evil. 2 medium undead as well.
Can I ask Faye if this is the 2 adventurers were her party members?
She says that they don't look familiar. The non-undead is a large fiend. Sigismund, you would probably feel at this point. I think your divine sense is probably just always on now.
Yeah, pretty much. I hope so.
One of the effects of your blade.
Yes.
And
I got.
one of the humanoid creatures doesn't look like it's holding any weapons, but as the large winged beast turns its gaze and meets its eyes with you, Garn, it raises one of its hands as it grins at you and points in your direction, and the undead begin to rush towards you all through the jungles. The first creature that looks like a risen adventurer kind of stumbles on a big log, but he gets up with blinding speed and continues his rush forward. And Riceak, you're up.
So I'm going to take my first attack at this guy with a bow shot.
26
That
is a
hit.
hit. Yeah.
Okay, and then I will.
Don't forget to roll your bow damage too.
Yeah, I got it. 18 damage, and then I will back up and hide in the trees. And that's my turn.
All right, Sorey.
Ha! Foul creatures, you stand before the mighty wizard Sorey. I single-handedly killed a lich. And I guess that helps too.
Amazing.
How dare you!
All right. Go ahead and take an inspiration.
Okay. And then...
Single-handedly. That stings a little bit as you remember the hand on your calf there, Sigismund, that brought you to death.
I'll attack him on my turn.
Nice shot.
21 for pretty much everyone there. Alright, cool. They'll make some dex saves.
Tremble before my mighty power!
Nice.
I'm glad ogres are very dexterous.
Yeah, -2 dex mod there. Let's see. What's this guy got for dex? So he'll take half. And then one of the large ogres begins to lumber through the jungles towards you all. And Garn, you're up.
Let him have it.
Nice.
Spike growth.
2d4 on the start of their turns, right?
Yeah.
And then every 5 feet.
Yep.
Cool. I wonder if this guy has fly speed. Ooh, he does.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect to get the one with the wings.
Yeah. Is that your turn?
And I move to try to get in front of Sorey.
Okay. You can just step in front of him, sure.
No, move me back. That was 25 where I was at.
Oh, okay,
I only
gotcha.
had 25 movement.
Gotcha. Stubby legs.
Yep.
I think Wuce can move 50 feet and around now, maybe. Oh, not till level 3 ranger, I guess, probably.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about movement yet. How far do I have to step over to make a ranged attack at the ones not right in front?
The farthest creature from you right now is about 100 feet, so probably not at all.
I mean, but they're not going to be obstructed line of sight by the two in front. I'm just curious if I have to sidestep at all for that.
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool. Then I'll go ahead and try and. You said 100 feet away?
Yeah.
Wait, where's Hazaka?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
She just pieced out.
I'll
She's out of here.
I'll pop her down.
I'll go ahead and take a short bow shot at the small guy due east of me, the 100 feet away one.
Typical Azaka.
That works out. Which guy are you shooting at? Wuce, sorry. Which guy are you shooting at?
That one.
Okay. 14 is...
24.
Oh, 24 is a hit.
Okay.
We gotta get these guys out from underneath spike growth.
That would be 23 damage.
You can
Nice.
Tell me when you want me to put it back or not.
no, you can put it back down now. Damn it.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to roll stealth. Should I do that?
Sure.
All right.
And then I believe that's the end of my turn.
All right. Let's see. So this guy's gonna hit spike growth here, and then he's gonna take 2, 4, 6, 8, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 5, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
That's the one that I did 23 to already as well.
So
14.
go ahead and roll 14d4 for me there, Garn.
Jesus.
As your spike growth tears through the creature as he charges through your spell. He takes 34 damage. The large demonic beast.
You skipped me, by the way.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I'm good at that, I think. Go ahead, Sigismund. That was when I added Azaka. I redid the order. My bad.
All right. I'll move to here.
Don't move to there.
I'll take the damage.
Okay.
I'd say that. Let's see. What is a great sword? 2d6.
Yes.
Besides being still a +3 weapon, Sigismund, your new blade also does bonus 2d6 damage to undead.
Ooh, that is lovely. Thank you. Yes, I will just take out that great sword and have a chop at the dude next to me here. 18.
18 is a hit.
11 plus.
It'll be
First 2d6.
Yeah, 2d6, extra 2d6.
20 damage.
Nice.
And I will have another go at him. Another 18.
And 18 is still a hit.
For another 20 damage.
Nice. Are you going to smite it too?
No, but I will use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the scary dude in the background, the fiend-looking guy.
Okay. Remember, if you do that and you move next round, you're going to have to make a saving throw to see if you keep the spell going.
Yes.
Okay.
How much damage do I take, by the way? For
5.
5 damage.
5 damage. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay, cool. So, the large winged creature vanishes momentarily, and he appears again instantaneously above all your heads, flapping his big wings. He kind of chuckles with a deep voice and closes his eyes, and as he does so, you can see his green skin kind of begin to writhe and bubble, and then
Dude, that's sick.
let's see here. Two creatures burst out of his flesh beside him, also flapping little wings.
Oh, that's cool.
They look like kind of little creatures. They have little pincers, and when they burst forth from his body, they kind of drop to the jungle floor below him.
Hey, they're in the spike grove.
Is there a way for me to actually see the area effect of the spike growth better? Like
if
Roll
you
a wisdom saving throw.
if you click on it, if you click on the token, yeah.
Yeah, I tried that. It doesn't work for me.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, can't see it.
Here, I'll do this real quick. And then I'll just get the token out of the way.
Alright, that makes sense.
And after the creatures burst out of his body, I think that's the... He's reached the end of his movement, and he did his little thing. And his turn is over. So let's see. One,
But the two little guys, are they going to take damage when they fall?
2.
Or
Yeah,
when they hit the
yeah, they will. Yeah. 3, 4. So go ahead and roll 4d4 for me. There, Garn. Or wait, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8d4. Sorry.
So a total of 21? Because I did 4d4 and I do another 4d4, so.
Cool. 21.
Wow. All fours on that second one.
And then one of the big ogre zombies comes barging in behind you there, Sigismund, and tries to strike at you. But you kind of sense his presence coming in, and you easily just step to one side as he brings his big club down.
Ha! You think you can strike my min companion? He's died once before. He knows no fear.
That's amazing.
Roll another 8d4 for me there, Garn. Nice. And then another one of the zombies rushes in towards you, Sigismund, and tries to strike at you with his Morning Star as well. 17 to hit.
No.
What's your AC with
20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, without the shield it's 20.
Azaka doesn't waste any time, and she begins to sprout a coat of fur, and she draws both of her scimitars as she changes into her hybrid form, and she comes in and tries to make a couple strikes at one of the ogres with her blades.
Get some Mazaka.
Oh, nice.
Doing 20 total damage as she drives both her scimitars into the side of one of the ogres. The ogre kind of falters and stumbles to one knee, and she draws her blade across its throat, almost severing its head totally from its body, and it kind of drops dead on the jungle floor. Riceak, you're up.
Okay, I will take a shot at the winged creature.
Yeah, he's flapping his big wings, kind of smiling down.
How high off the ground is he?
60 feet.
60. 655. Hold on one second. I think maybe I'll move forward a little bit so he's in range, and then I'll fire.
Okay.
So from the bank here.
$21 is a hit. $20 is the damage number this combat round, I think.
And then I will attempt to hide again. And that's my turn.
Let's see. Where was that guy? 5, 2, 4, 6. 64 for me. Garn. 15. Nice. And one of the undead creatures that looks like a former adventurer, now more ragged and gaunt. Pieces of his flesh have been stripped away, and half of his face is kind of missing. He rushes towards you, and as he does so, his gaze meets yours, and he hits you with a vengeful glare. I need you to make a DC 15 Wisdom save for me. So you are paralyzed, and I believe your spike growth probably fades at that.
Paralyzed doesn't mean I can't keep concentrating.
Oh, it doesn't?
Taking damage, is it?
Okay, cool. Until the end of the Revenant's next turn, when the paralysis ends, the target is frightened of the Revenant for 1 minute. Save at the end of each of its turns. So next round you'll have to well, this round you're paralyzed, next round you'll have to run away, and then you can repeat a save.
Gotcha.
And let's see if he notices Wuce. Nope. So Sorey, you're up.
Was that the winged creature that cast that?
Nope, it was the Revenant. The undead adventurer.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yep.
Foul creatures, foolish to face us. I will show you true power. Darkened heaven's light, bear this name as you open the gates of hell.
So good.
Nice. Let's see.
And I sculpt the spell around Sigismund.
Yeah. Sigismund, writhing flames protrude up from the jungles below you. The rest of you there at the edge of the flames probably see the reflection of the fireball burning in Sigismund's purple eyes as the flame consumes the rest of the creatures around him. I guarantee that these ogres are going to fail, and so I'll just give them the damage. My browser's kind of lagging here. But I'll still make them for the other creatures, the saves. Nice to have a little magic in the party. That's your turn, Sorey. Garn, you are
Well, I
paralyzed.
also take a step back.
But at the end of your turn, I think you can repeat the save.
I think it's only for the frightened bit, isn't it?
Let's see. The frightened. Oh yeah, the frightened target
Yeah,
can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns. So you're paralyzed currently until the
Yes.
Revenant's turn is over. Yeah.
Yep.
So on your
And
next turn, you'll be frightened.
he has advantage to hit me while I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I fail any strength or dexterity saving throw.
This guy's dead. So Sigismund, you're up.
All right. I will lift the greatsword over my head, preparing to strike, but just looking at the big flying guy instead of the guy actually in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I will use my bonus action to Misty Step over here. And as I do, I'll just bring down the sword right on his fucking head.
He's 60 foot in the air.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 60 feet
Oh,
in the air.
that's not good.
Yeah.
Fucking motherfucker. Well, I'll hit the guy at the bottom then. Motherfucker. 60 feet?
Yeah, he's
I jump and I throw the sword.
Yeah.
No.
What's the range on Misty Step?
30.
30 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could get up there, I would have 16?
16 is a hit. And this one's undead, so another 2d6 as well. Yeah.
24.
And you take 7.
All right.
Well, he misty stepped through all that, so he probably only take 2d4.
Yeah, that's all I rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, you got me.
Wuce.
I still have another attack.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Well, God, motherfucker, 60 feet. That's not fair. Yeah, those blast right to his fucking face. 15?
15 is a hit as well.
Oh, nice
And
damage.
you bring down your blade. It kind of carves through the creature like butter and splits him in two, and the top half of him kind of falls off while his legs kind of collapse underneath into a pile of meat.
I'll just fucking flip the bird to the guy up top.
He will
Motherfucker.
take that into consideration. Wuce, you're up.
So, how does it work for me if I want to attack with my offhand too? Does that count as a bonus action then?
It's just, if you take the attack action, it's just, you can attack with your offhand, but you don't get your proficiency bonus added to it, I believe.
Okay.
Unless you have two weapon fighting. But
Gotcha.
I could be wrong about that.
That's correct.
I'll step next to Garn and then try and rapier this guy to death.
Grape him. I said grape. I didn't say rape. I said grape.
That's whitest kids you know.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
21.
We'll link a video to that later.
Right.
21 is a hit. Yes. You graped him right in the face.
For 20.
20, man. 18. That looks like 18 to me.
Plus 2 saves undead.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That is 18.
Plus 2
And
to
then-
your
and then I'll-
favorite enemy.
So then I'll do it again. Yeah. Then I'll do it. The offhand one.
Yep. So it'll just be minus your proficiency or whatever. You have a rapier in both hands? I think it also has to be a smaller weapon, but I could also be wrong about that as well. Unless you also have dual fighting proficiency.
Rapier's medium weapon.
Medium?
Yeah, but you can use a dagger.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
your offhand has to be like a short sword or a dagger, unless you have 2-weapon fighting as well.
I have a short sword.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That works.
So 15.
15 is a hit. Is that a
For
magic?
12.
Is your short sword a magical weapon? These guys don't have any resistance to non-magical weapons anyway. So 12 damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is he dead yet?
Nope.
I'm guessing if the other guy's not. Oh wait, he is dead. Yeah, I don't think the short sword is magical. Although I'm not sure. I don't know how I picked it up. It might have been
Give me a 44, Garn.
one from our party loot. Let me check real quick. Did we come across a magic short sword during our
No.
adventure?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I'm just checking that.
So I need to
Spike growth. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So, Sigismund, one of these little beasts that popped out of the flesh of the large demonic creature flapping above your head, rushes towards you. He comes at you with his claws and a little trident that appears in his hand, both missing. But then, behind you, another one of the creatures pops into existence as well.
Ah, shit.
And then the other one, give me another 2d4 there, Garn. The other one rushes at you, Sigismund, as well. But both of his attacks just kind of scraping at your armor. And then the winged beast above you again kind of instantaneously appears from your focused gaze, and moments later pops back into existence on the ground directly in front of you with his large axe swinging down at you out of thin air. $20 to hit.
That does hit, yeah.
I need you to make a Constitution save for me.
Kablow!
Nice. You still take 11 slashing damage, but you won't
Alright.
continue to take 2d4 slashing damage at the start of each of your turns from a fiendish wound.
That's good.
There's 3 of those flying things now?
Just one. The other ones are on the ground.
Okay, but there's 3 total?
Yeah, 3 total.
Where'd that third one come from? Just flew over from somewhere?
It has a 30% chance of summoning another one into existence.
The green thing spits them out.
Well, and then the smaller ones can start spitting out copies of each other.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's like that Star Trek episode.
Ten bludgeoning as a undead ogre brings his big weapon down onto your back, Sigismund, right between your shoulder blades.
Alright.
So both the big guy with the axe and the zombie both took 5 points.
Oh, gotcha. 5.
What about that third one then?
One of the ogres goes to strike at Azaka, but she just kind of turns her body one way, easily sidestepping the creature's blow, and then drives her scimitars deep into the beast's belly, spilling its decaying guts onto the jungle floor. And Riceak, you're up.
Okay,
Actually,
I'm going to take. Go ahead.
Sorry, I missed the Revenant here.
Okay.
So this dude has advantage against
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So 18 and 27
27 definitely hits.
for 19 damage,
Okay.
ending your paralysis. But you'll still be feared, I believe. Oh wait,
And Spike.
if the target is a creature against which the Revenant has sworn vengeance, which he has because he paralyzed you, you take an extra 46. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So 12, 19, 20, 31 total damage.
Okay. And Spike growth is gone.
Okay.
As I failed myself. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have Warcaster? No, I don't. Yep. Spike growth is gone.
And so he kind of just gives you a stiff punch to your gut and knocks all the wind out of you, and you kind of regain your composure, but you look up into the creature's eyes, and you just feel an overwhelming sense of dread as he kind of is there, lifelessly glaring down at you with his dead eyes.
Spike growth total 143 points of damage.
Now, Riceak, you are up.
I'll take a shot at the green beast in the air.
Okay. 20 is a hit.
And then I will. Oh, since spiked growth is gone, I will go ahead and move. I will move. Whoops. Move to here, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Sorey.
These creatures clearly haven't learned their lesson yet. Die! Ha ha ha!
34. Nice. One of the ogre zombies gets consumed in a blaze of flame. When they dissipate, he's not much more than a pile of black bone and ash. The smaller demonic creatures kind of writhe and scream in pain as the flames engulf them, and they're all still standing when the flames die away, though.
You'll join your ogre companions in hell soon enough! Ha ha!
Oh, actually, one of them does also die. That's my bad. Nice. Sigismund. 19 total damage as one of the little creatures digs its claw into you, kind of sinking into some exposed piece of your flesh, and then drawing itself closer with its claws gripped into the side of your body, drives its little trident into the same weak spot that it found in your defenses. One total damage, sorry. And the Garn at the end of your turn, running 30 feet in the opposite direction of that creature who makes an attack of opportunity against you as you flee. Let's just say, yeah, down there, and then you can repeat the saving throw.
I can't run that far.
Oh yeah, 25. Sorry.
No problem.
The DC is a 15, so you are still frightened.
Okay, but I still have an action, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Not the creature that made me frightened.
Well,
but
I think frightened. The only thing you can do is, I could be wrong, but I think the only thing you can do when you're frightened is run away.
Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of the fear is within sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source, so I don't have to move.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not attacking him because I've got this big nasty rat beside me that's going to kill him. I hope.
Yeah.
So I can't move closer to him though.
Wait, what are you hoping for?
Well, I'm moving away from him, just not moving closer to him. So you made your attack, you missed.
I wonder if that changed, because that seems like frightened used to be different than that, but maybe
It did. It changed because used to you had to run away and couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians. So it's going to hit all of them. Of the remaining ones, that is. Thank you.
Roll your damage for me on that.
16. And a DC Wisdom save of a 16. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Sig. You got 10 hit points back.
Thank you.
One of the little demonic creatures is consumed by your spiritual guardians. They beat him into the jungle floor. And Wuce, you're up.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and rapier this guy again. 24.
24 is a hit.
For 18. I'm guessing he's still up.
Yep.
Crit.
Nice. With your short bow?
Oh, dang it. Sorry. That was supposed to be short sword. Do you want me to reroll that?
The short bow does the same damage, so I think you can just click the damage.
Plus 2, so 19.
Your first roll does the crit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Sorry, so
9,
11.
11, nice.
And then for my bonus, oh wait, I critted, so I'm still stealthed right now.
Sigismund.
Yeah.
You probably won't be stealthed to the guy that you just stabbed twice.
If it says as part of my stalker, if I crit or miss, I keep my stealth. I remain hidden.
Yeah, but that's situational. Like if not to a creature that you're directly jamming your weapons into. It's not like invisibility. It's it's stealth and invisibility are different things.
No, I understand that. It says you remain hidden, and your position's not given away if you miss or crit attack, though.
Okay. To all the other creatures, sure, but not this one.
Isn't that just range though?
It's a stalker ability.
I guess you could technically it just in the positioning that you're in right now, like maybe I guess you're just moving so quickly that he can't get a beat on you, but stealth. And this is the #1 rule that I run into a lot of the time is stealth and invisibility are different things. And when you're jamming your blades into something, it's probably going to know that you're there.
And
no, I get that, but that's why it's reading as miss or crit.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
If you're jamming, if I missed it, then he wouldn't know. But I think they added crit because it's part of the ability. I don't know. That's just how I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Is this Skulker or something out of another book?
I'm sorry?
Skulker or something out of another book?
Are you asking me what the ability is called?
Yeah, the one out of the player's handbook is called Skulker.
It's a racial feature from the rat. Yeah, from the rat. Yeah.
Gotcha.
My ruling on that is going to be that this creature knows where you are.
Okay.
But he's just gonna make an attack against you. That's it.
Did you just skip me again?
Oh yeah, sorry, Sigismund.
Thanks. So should I?
Yeah,
go?
you're up. Yeah, you're up. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look thoroughly frustrated, and I'll just grab my gun and smash it into my chest as sort of a challenge to the big guy. But I am gonna have to lay on hands on myself here.
Oh, are you that low?
I was at 3 hit points.
Oh wow.
Lay those hands on.
38. And as my bonus action,
I guess it's good that you made that saving throw.
Oh yeah.
You would have taken. Yeah, you would have taken.
Bonus action, I will healing light. So 2 more hit points. That's fantastic. And I'm done.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
One of the little guys behind you claws and tridents at you. 1 for 10 piercing. And then the large winged beast before you comes again, now twice with his axe. 27 to hit for 13 slashing. And
Yep.
I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me, which you pass.
Great.
These zombies are dead. That guy's dead. And Azaka comes in to your aid, rushing in behind you. Her big hybrid tiger body kind of brushing up against your back, and she tries to drive her scimitars into one of the little demonic creatures. For 14 total damage. Wuce, the guy that you've been graping, punches you with his fists. 18 and 16.
Miss.
Both?
Yep.
Ooh. And you just kind of deftly dart out of the way as you continue to kind of dance around this guy. Riceak, you're up.
So I will move forward and I will hit the guy next to
27 is a hit. For 24 total damage.
me. Is he still up?
Yep.
And I'll strike again.
Sneak attack's only once.
Oh, sorry.
An 23 is a
12.
hit. 18 is
Yeah.
a hit as well. For 12, so. 38,
And then I will back away.
36 total.
That's my turn.
Sorey.
To the little guy next in front of
Wuce.
the rat. Yeah,
Okay.
in front of Wuce. Does it hit?
It does. 14 is a hit. Yeah.
Oh, do I have to roll separately for all three?
I believe so. Yeah. Each ray is a separate attack.
I can write you a macro later if you want.
So the 14 and the 22 both hit.
14 fire.
And he catches a blaze as your scorching rays cut into him, searing his flesh, and he's looking pretty rough now. Garn, you are up.
Finally.
So that is made at the end of your turn.
Never mind then.
But I'll take it into consideration. You can't move towards the Revenant who's still up, but you can move
Yep.
towards the others, yeah. You gonna pop some heals?
Let's see here. That's 14 points of healing. And the both of those creatures need to make another saving throw.
Oh, yeah. Roll that damage for me.
17.
Oh, the fucker.
He still takes half.
Your spiritual guardians dance around the two remaining creatures, striking through and at them, but both of them still remain standing as they kind of screech and hoot and holler, the little monkeys. Wuce, you're up.
Oh, I ain't done.
Oh, sorry.
That's my bonus action.
Spiritual weapon?
Damn Skippy. On the little guy
okay.
in front of us.
You're
Not sure if it'll hit.
14? Yeah, 14 is... Oh, actually, a 14 is a miss on that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is there.
Yeah, I'll get it out.
And Wuce.
Go ahead and attack him again. $15
15 is a hit.
for 11.
How do you kill it?
By cleaving its head in two
Nice.
with the twist of the wrists.
Is that your turn?
These guys are on the ground.
Yep.
I'll try and de-stealth and then sneak up on the one that's by Azaka.
Okay. Sigismund.
All right. Time to get down to it. First of all, I would like my bonus action, and I will swear a vow of enmity against the flying guy. This has gone far enough. It just gives me advantage on him for the next minute.
Okay. I'll say as another take this down as another feature of your new greatsword. When you have sworn a vow of enmity against a undead or demon, your 2d6 bonus damage against those creatures increases to 4d6.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I'll take it. Time to get going. Let's chop at him, motherfucker. 23.
23 is a hit.
Plus 12, and I'll Divine Smite as well. Hunter's Mark. So that's 21, 24, 33, and 38.
Nice.
And I will also like to take my second attack against this motherfucker. 26.
Is a hit.
16. 25.
How do you kill him?
I take this great big fucking giant great sword and I shove it into his head and I climb on top of him and I put my hands on both sides of the sword and I try to push it down into his body. Motherfucker.
And as you do so, the large blade begins to kind of swirl and glow with purple energy as you drive it down into the demon's head. It almost splits the creature in two as you drive the blade down, and his axe kind of clatters to the jungle floor beside him. His form begins to kind of smoke and crumble as the rain pours down upon you and it as your blade splits him in two, and it kind of you hear kind of like a echoing scream as the creature kind of fades into a black smoke and gets washed away in the rains. Only his axe remaining. And then the little creature behind you tries to drive his claws and try it into the back for 7 piercing damage.
Alright.
Anticlimax. Yeah, there's still one left.
Oh well.
But Azaka quickly turns with her scimitars and chops his head off of his shoulders. And I will give you guys XP divided by 5 instead of 6 this week. So 3,060 each.
Damn.
Did the fiend die?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. How much was it? 3,000 what?
60.
Cool, thanks.
3060.
2920 is what I've got.
I concur.
The only, since I know you'll ask, the only thing that you really find of any importance or significance is the demon's axe that remains. None of the other creatures seem to really have any loot on them.
another one of those fights, and we'll level again this week.
I am going to need a rest in that case.
Well, I cast the spell, and between me and you, and I'll cast it at 2nd level, so Healing Spirit.
And that's a good place for a mid-session break.
All right.
Sure, everyone, feel free to take 5.
Cool. Thanks, Ryan.
Foolish creatures thought they could stand before me. The mighty wizard Sorey, please.
Me and you are healed 60 points.